Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorillas in the building. Hitting y'all upside the head with this here morning paper. You understand what I'm talking about? We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it, y'all. It is Tuesday, September 23rd of 2025. 2025. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this is the year of the Zionist advancement into what they believe is their place in the world. Yes, yes. Shah Killing, salute to you. Good morning. Good morning to Jimmy Nguyen. Real Eye, salute to you. Salute to everybody this morning. Yes, this is a year Israel advances their agenda. Insane Talk, salute to you, bro. Top of the AM to you. This is the year that the Zionist regime in the Middle East begins to take their place. They have triggered their empire. They have triggered the expansion of their empire this year. And they will come to fully realize the completion of the taking over of Gaza and the eradication of the Palestinian State. But it won't stop there, y'all. It won't stop there. This has nothing to do with Hamas. This has nothing to do with self-defense, right? And Benjamin Nosferatu has finally admitted to what their agenda is and what the agenda has always been, right? There are certain nations in the world that have decided that they wanted to recognize Palestine as a state, right? They just now, after all the deaths, after all the civilian casualties, a Lancet study says there are about 680,000 people that were killed in Palestine, 680,000 Palestinians, over 400,000 of whom were children. Then you have other reports that say 60,000, whatever the case may be. But, you know, Lancet has done an extensive study. And, you know, there are different reports coming out from different places. The bottom line is that Lancet is accounting for all the casualties, all of them, not just in a certain parts of Gaza, but all the casualties, including the starvation, including all the bodies in the rubble, right? Including all the people that have been displaced that don't amount to the people that existed and lived in Gaza in the first place, that lived in Palestine. The UN has declared what Israel is doing a genocide. Black Spring with Autumn, salute to you. Ça va? Bonjour, Queen Black Spring. Palestine, what's going on in Palestine has been declared a genocide by the UN. And do you think Israel cares? Do you think Benjamin Nosferatu cares? Do you think the defense minister cares? No, they don't. Because they know at the end of the day, no one's going to do anything about it. Why? Because the Zionists have their tendrils in everything. They have their tendrils in everything and everywhere around the world. And no one's going to stop them, right? They can just talk a lot of shit, right? They can just talk this and that. But who's going to place Benjamin Nosferatu under arrest? Where are the sanctions? Why hasn't our government leaders sanctioned Israel? Right? Why are we still giving them money? Well, the answer to that is intricate, nuanced, and it takes a lot of understanding. It takes a lot of understanding. It takes a lot of realization. It takes a lot of, right? It takes a lot of deep diving and rabbit hole diving. A lot of rabbit hole diving that once you enter into the rabbit hole and you discover how intricate and complex the web is, and you start to talk about it, you sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, right? And that's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point behind all this, and this is why they're so insulated and protected. That's why they don't suffer any consequences for their actions, because all they have to do is point to those two words: conspiracy theory. But the facts that people compile and put together to form these theories, well, they're undeniable. They're undeniable, right? Israel has gone as far as to admit that they are targeting civilians, that, they understand that they are creating all these civilian casualties. They're admitting it. They're telling you, like, look, and their whole thing is, well, Hamas is using civilians as human shields. And they don't care about none of that. They're telling you they're using them as human shields. They're telling you that these Hamas people, that Hamas is using these tunnels to escape and they're not allowing civilians to do it. They're telling you that Hamas is insulating and protecting themselves with civilians in these hospitals, in these schools, in these shelters. They're telling you that. They say, but they don't give a fuck. They're still going to destroy the building. They're going to destroy the shelter. They're going to destroy any and everything to accomplish their goal. And their goal is not to defend themselves against Hamas. Their goal is to completely eradicate the Palestinian State, right? And spread their empire. Now, I told you guys this. I've been telling y'all. Yeah, just describing it makes it sound like a conspiracy. But Benjamin Netanyahu said it out of his own mouth. These are words that are coming out of these people's mouths. The IDF is telling y'all what they're doing, like they're IDF soldiers that are telling people, they're telling reporters, they're telling journalists that what they're doing in Gaza is genocide. They're just indiscriminately killing people. They're destroying buildings. They're leveling buildings. They're leveling whole cities. There are people trapped under rubble. Who's doing the cleanup? Who's cleaning up all this mess? Who's getting the bodies out? There are people in Palestine that go to Gaza and they come back. There are reporters and journalists and people that belong to these organizations that try to bring aid to these people. They try to help the civilians. They're telling you that the whole entire, these areas are a smell of death and decay. And there are dogs running around scavenging body parts out of buildings. Those bodies are not being accounted for. IDF soldiers, they told you the same thing. Like, they're just going, I mean, there's no self-defense. I told you guys as well that Benjamin Netanyahu does not give a fuck about his people calling for him to get those hostages free. They don't give a damn about them damn hostages. That's why every ceasefire after ceasefire has not been agreed to by Benjamin Netanyahu and the other leaders of Israel, because they don't want a ceasefire. They don't want it. They told you, but I told you guys. Benjamin Netanyahu said he does not give a shit about these. Well, he didn't say that verbatim, but he basically said, hostages, no hostages. It's not going to stop us. It's not going to stop it. And now, after these nations, including the United Nations and Canada and these other nations, they're talking about, well, they recognize Palestine as a sovereign state, as a sovereign nation. Benjamin Nosferatu says, nah, there is no Palestine. There is no Palestinian state. We're taking over, baby. We are going to eliminate them. Eliminate Hamas or whatever they want to tell you. They want y'all to believe, oh, this is about Hamas. This is about Hezbollah and all these other things. But they're fighting a war on multiple fronts against multiple nations that had nothing to do with the October 7th bullshit. They attacked Iran for no goddamn reason. Oh, well, they're giving weapons to this group and that group. Where's the fucking proof? They launched a strike against Qatar. Said Qatar was harboring Hamas leaders and all this, that. Well, somebody says they supply Hamas. What proof do you have of that? Hamas has their own shit. They supply Hamas. Well, we supply Ukraine, don't we? Don't UN nations, including the United States, supply Ukraine? So does that mean that Russia has the right to attack us because we're supplying them with arms and shit and supplies and money? Is that what that means? Help me understand. I'm so brainwashed, or a Zio-bot. Oh, you're not talking about me. Help me understand. We supply Ukraine. We give Ukraine money and weapons and all this other shit. So should Russia attack us, regardless of whether or not Russia invaded the Ukraine in the first place? It wasn't our goddamn business, was it? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing here? You see, Ukraine was given opportunity and time to get their people out. They were able to evacuate. They were able to push their people into Poland and into neighboring nations. Even Belarus, even though Belarus is pro-Russian, right? They were able to get their people out. And then Israel says, oh, we gave them opportunity to evacuate. Evacuate to where? You're not allowing them to go anywhere. You guys have them bottlenecked. Where are they going to go? Where are the Palestinian civilians going to go? Where? What nation will accept them? Where they're refugees, where are they going? No, they're pushing them further down south. South in Gaza. You know what I'm saying? But they have nowhere really to go. Where are they going to go? There are thousands of people trying to get out of Gaza right now. How are they going to get out? Salute to Stormy B Man in the building. Salute to you, brother. Y'all go check out Stormy B Man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. Why do they have to leave their homes? I have no idea. Right? I have no idea why the Palestinian people, the civilians, have to leave their home. Why are we attacking civilian areas? Because they don't give a shit. They're going to completely level. Right now they're launching a full-scale invasion in Gaza, and they don't care. Anybody that's left, any Palestinian still in Gaza right now, will be considered an enemy combatant, and they will be slaughtered. See, Israel put these people in an impossible position. They don't have very many options, right? Not very many options at all. You know what I'm saying? Tell me the smart thing. Somebody said I was stupid. Tell me the smart thing. What's the smart thing? Go ahead. Go ahead. Smarten me up. See, y'all can't do it. Y'all can't do it. Y'all just come in here and say shit. Okay, make me smart. Smarten me up. Educate me. Educate me. Okay, so let's say they did not choose to leave. Let's say that's the case. Let's say they have somewhere to go. Why should they have to leave? It's their nation. Why should they have to leave? Let's say it's true. Despite all the accounts from people that are there that say that they really have nowhere to go. Let's say they do have somewhere to go. Why should they have to fucking leave their land? You know how y'all sound? Y'all sound retarded as fuck. Y'all say I'm stupid. No, you stupid. Because if somebody tries that with you, you're going to ask the same question. If China decides to invade, Russia tries to invade, North Korea tries to invade, any fucking body, and they tell you, get the fuck out, or we're going to level your city in a couple weeks. Get the fuck out. You're going to ask the same question. Why should I have to leave? So whether you want to believe that they can leave, that there are options or not, the question is, why do they have to? Because if I thought this was about eliminating Hamas, right? That's what this was supposed to be about. They have the intelligence apparatus and capabilities to go into Iran and launch missiles from within Iran and hit military structures in Iran, but they can't do the same thing with Hamas. They can't surgically and methodically get rid of Hamas. No, that's not the fucking goal. The Jews were there first. No, they were not. Kenneth Moore, whatever the fuck your name is. They were not there first. The Jews were everywhere. They were everywhere. They did not have a place. They were everywhere. They were in Rome. They were everywhere. They're everywhere. Israel is not land. It is basically a people. I don't know history. Neither do you. The only history you know is what they tell you history is. Who is history written by? Unless you can go back into a time machine and see everything for yourself, you don't know history. You just know what you were told about history. You're not the archaeologist. You're not out there doing anything. You're not going into these temples, interpreting the language, making sure you're getting it right. You don't know shit either. You don't know motherfucking history. All you know is what they told you. You don't know history. You don't know shit either. You wasn't there. Your thing is, oh, well, I haven't studied the history that was told to us about by whom. Just like y'all don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. But they tell you who they believe killed Charlie Kirk, and you just run with it because you have been conditioned to believe what they tell you, no matter what. See, it's conditioning. You go to school, and they tell you this happened, that happened throughout history, but you don't know. This is what they told you. They look at journals that these people wrote. They look at writings. These motherfuckers, you don't think they can lie and embellish and make shit up while they're writing in these journals to make themselves look good? But we don't need to know history to know that Palestine was an independent sovereign nation in modern day. Israel had its own country, and then they decided, no, this isn't enough. That's the bottom line to it. Somebody says stop talking. Okay, then you should get out of here. How about stop listening? Because I'm not going to stop talking. There. That should encourage you to not have to hear what I got to say. Anybody else need to help? Anybody else need to be escorted out? Help me understand. Y'all can go on about your business. Please stop talking, bro. Okay. Then you can get out of here too. There you go. How was that? Isn't it refreshing? You don't even have to stop. You don't even have to stop writing now. I helped you. Y'all want me to stop talking? How about stop listening? Stop viewing my channel. Go on about your business. Okay, Ethan says SFTU, STFU. All right, I can remove you as well. Bye. There, I don't have to shut up. You can just stop listening. It's called self-censorship. Salute. Somebody says greetings from Israel. Proud new dad. Salute to you. You can stop talking. So the bottom line is this, y'all. Y'all don't know jack shit. Outside of what they tell you. Because see, y'all just go with what they say. You don't do your own fact checking and research. And you come and attack people like me because we have different information than what they tell you. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Give me a second. There we go. Yo, I'm back. Someone says, 3 facts nature guy says, you clearly haven't done your research. You picking bad talking points. Tell me what the good talking points are. Tell me where you got your research. Tell me what you found. Help me. Help me understand. Because I told y'all, I came out and I talked about last year how I knew Israel was going to eventually attack Iran. I knew it. And then what did they do this year? In June, they attacked Iran. I told y'all that Israel was not interested in self-defense and freeing hostages. They're interested in taking Gaza over completely. I told y'all that. I told y'all that months ago. And here they are. Now, multiple nations have come out to say that they recognize the Palestinian State. Yes, it's a land grab. Someone says nothing new. Yeah, I'm for Palestine. Why would it? Yeah, Palestine is an independent nation, independent sovereign nation. Yeah. See, there are bad actors in every government because government is bad, period. Government is destruction. Government is violence. Every nation has a government that is built upon violence. Yes. because they had to strip people of their sovereignty and their freedom. Every nation, including Hamas. Hamas is that for the Palestinians. I'm not taking any onus off of Hamas, because they brought a lot of this upon themselves. They allowed Israel, they gave Israel the opportunity and the excuse to do all the things that they're doing right now. But right now, it's just like, well, it's beyond what Hamas has done. We just gonna go ahead and do what we got to do. Hamas is instrumental in allowing Israel to do what they're doing. It just is what it is. Well, yeah. There are a lot of those groups that are hell, Al-Qaeda and the Taliban were created by the United States. ISIS was created by the United States. Yes, we build them. Yes. Someone says they hate Islam. Okay, well, you want to hate an ideology, that's fine. Why don't I stand with the official stance of my government? Shawshank Neji says, why don't you stand with the official stance of your government? Because my government are full of liars. Yeah, my government lies to us. Every day, every time they open their fucking mouths, they lie. Interesting enough, right? Because our government lies to us. Someone says, then this channel sucks. Okay, then why are you here? I don't understand it. You don't have to be of use to be your own country. Okay? Anyway, so let's talk about this, right? Are built on an empire of lies. Yes. I know they hate watch. Do y'all know that hate is not the opposite of love? Hate is not the opposite of love. Do you know what it is? Indifference. Because hate is just a warped version of love, y'all. So, if you guys would be indifferent and wouldn't even watch my channel, you guys, no, if you really didn't care about what I had to say, you would be indifferent. And then you would go on about your business and you wouldn't be here. So it's okay. Why doesn't Trump release the Epstein files? Because him and all his buddies will be exposed as PDF files. Simple as that. That's why, and I'm going to talk about this as well at some point, Kash Patel is trying to say that Jeffrey Epstein didn't supply children to anybody, that he didn't traffic children to anybody, that it was just him. That's what Kash Patel and FBI is trying to tell us after all this time. Oh yeah. No, there was no trafficking to children. There was no trafficking of children to anybody. Right? This is the bullshit that they are peddling to us. The same guy that said that is trying to tell us that this Tyler Robinson guy killed Charlie Kirk. And the more and more you look at, and the more you discover, the more and more it points away from Tyler Robinson. As a matter of fact, some guy did a great video. I posted his shit in my community tab, where there is no denying where the shot came from. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I will say, you know where the hole appeared on Charlie Kirk's neck in slow motion, like this guy showed? That's why I posted it in the community tab. You guys can go check it out. I forgot the name of the channel, but it's on my channel tab. It's on my community tab. You can see where the bullet is getting ready to exit. You can see it. You can see his skin go like that, like a cone going in this direction. But y'all go ahead. Y'all believe what you want. Yes, Candace Owens has a lot to say, but she's not saying a lot either. And did y'all know that on Turning Point USA, one guy said that Erica Kirk knows exactly everything that's going on? His neck snapped backwards. It went like that. It went like that. And then he went like that. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Y'all go ahead and check it out for yourself. Sure, I fell for another conspiracy theory. Just like y'all fell for the conspiracy theory that Tyler Robinson in his trainee terror cell, that's a conspiracy theory too. Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. You know, everybody likes to invoke this Occam's razor philosophy, right? The explanation that requires the least amount of contemplative thought is the most logical one. Well, trying to believe that Tyler Robinson, trying to push that doesn't even fall under Occam's razor. But y'all believe what you want. I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. But what I am trying to convince you of is to not to believe any side right away. Believe what you want based on information that you get that makes sense. That's all I'm trying to encourage people to do. That's how I was able to figure out that Israel was going to attack Iran last year or the year before. That's how I knew that they didn't give a fuck about them damn hostages. And then that they were going to try to fully and completely. I'm spreading lies. Tell me what lies I'm spreading, Frank T. So let me get into this. This is what I'm telling you guys about. Netanyahu. Now this is Haaretz. Okay? This is where this article is from. Netanyahu says no Palestinian state after 3 countries announced formal recognition. It's a little late for the formal recognition. I don't know why they waited so goddamn long. Maybe this would have been a lot more helpful before the genocide, okay? Orange, a little Y for you says, why did he and the Trump have the same security guy in the black outfit at the time of the firing of the weapon? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. But I do know that there is a solitary bush. You can see a solitary bush on the building from the direction that it actually looks like the shot came from. And it looks like that bush is holding a rifle. I'm just saying. I'm telling y'all what it looks like. But don't take my word for it. Go check it out for yourself. That's why I put these things in the community tab. So you can go look at it for yourself. And make it your own determination. Yes, I am that guy. It says, do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Don't let anyone tell you what to think. Exactly. What I believe might be wrong. Charlie Kirk may have been killed by Tyler Robinson with a 30-06 that curiously did not leave an exit wound. And curiously, Charlie Kirk is the only human being on earth that could stop a 30-06 at that range from going all the way through him. But hey, that's just me. Salute to Tech787 LLC. Dropping that $5 super chat. He says, nah, brother, you need Jesus. All your fans need Jesus. I need Jesus. Palestine and Israel need Jesus. Well, we all need. Hey, I mean, if you believe what you want to believe, I have no problem with what you guys believe in. I'm just saying, Eddie K says looks guilty. Suspect caught. Hey, that's what you want to believe. Go ahead. It is what it is. Like, I'm not here to tell y'all what to believe. Right? I'm coming to you guys on my channel and I'm giving you guys information that I'm discovering and finding. And I'm saying, look, man, things don't add up, but this does to me, in my opinion. Thinking critically, sometimes you can think too critically, all right? There was no vest. That's one thing I can say for a fact. Finish, there was no vest. Charlie Kirk was not wearing a vest. Not a protective vest, not a bulletproof vest, not a goddamn tactical vest, none of that. Some says watermelon lover because they're a racist piece of shit, but it is what it is. See, he can say that. It is what it is. I mean, free speech is what it is. So why was Tyler there with a 30-06 and no other shots fired or hurt or fired? Josh H. How do you know Tyler was there with a 30-06? Did you see him with the 30-06? Did you see a video or a picture of him firing the 30-06 from that rooftop? Because I can assure you, if Tyler Robinson fired that weapon from that rooftop, they got video of it. They got video of it and they can share it with us, but they're not doing that, are they? Help me understand. Bridget Edwards says the original Jews are black, not from Europe. Well, the Hebrews were black. That's a whole nother story. Realize says facts, they are seed of Satan, Israel, fake Ashkenazi Jews. Yeah, I mean, why don't they use drones? They probably do. Let me tell y'all something. Charlie Kirk is the type of individual that gets all kinds of death threats from every direction. From the left. I'm sure that he has received thousands and thousands of death threats. Maybe they did have a drone. They have multiple cameras, high definition cameras, very extremely high technological cameras that filmed the very thing that happened to them, and they haven't released that to us. We don't have enough information to make any definitive conclusion. We have none. All we can do is theorize and conjecture. So, so this is what happened, right? He said, so here's what happened. As far-right minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir said that the recognition of Palestinian State by the UK, Canada, and Australia requires immediate application of sovereignty over the West Bank. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the move is a huge reward to terrorism. No. Now, as a Palestinian state, after the terrible massacre of October 7th, you are giving huge reward to terrorism. Indeed, we doubled Jewish settlements in Judea and Samaria, and we will continue this path. They have doubled Jewish settlements in 2 locations, and they will continue this path, meaning that the whole idea is to spread their settlements, put a settlement here, put a settlement there, spread their empire. The response to the latest attempt to force a terrorist state in the heart of our land, in the heart of our land. So you hear what they're saying? Benjamin Netanyahu is saying that basically Palestine is a terrorist state in the heart of their land. That is what Benjamin Netanyahu is saying. It is Palestine, a terrorist state in the heart of our land. No, it's not between the air. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. So, that's what he said. In the heart of our land. So now he's telling you that Palestine is Israeli land and that they are a terrorist state, then it. Right? So they're basically saying, yeah, we getting that back. The response, yeah. Yeah. So this is what we got going on, y'all. This is what Benjamin Netanyahu says. And that's what we got going on. Yeah. So this is not about self-defense. This is not about freeing hostages. This is about expanding their empire. This is about doubling and tripling and quadrupling Jewish settlements. This is what this is about. And they're using this thing about, oh, a terrorist state, terrorist this, terrorist that, to get what they want. Right? Because how can you combat that? How do you tell Benjamin, well, you can't do that when he's telling you it's a terrorist state? What have we done to multiple countries in the Middle East? And that's not really what that was about. Yes, they want the land. Yeah. Lucas Ward, they're done playing games. I said that at some point they're just going to be like, it's over. We're going to take that over. If y'all think that it's going to stop, Roger Jensen says ain't got nothing to do with the land. Well, what does that have to do with? What does it have to do with? And Rise asks if I'm a mixed race person. That's irrelevant. Anyway, Realize says, oh, Heather Dane, they sure not white in the Middle East, no melanin in Israel. No, I mean, it is what it is. They So this is what we got going on, y'all. No Palestinian state. That means that in his mind, Palestine does not have a right to exist. Therefore, he will go into Palestine, he will go into Gaza, and he will eradicate the Palestinian state. That's what he's going to do. And that's what they're doing right now with this full-scale invasion in Gaza. That's what this is about. Free Sudan, absolutely. Free everybody. Free everything. Free every individual in this world. Every human being deserves to have their own, have sovereignty over their own person, over their own being. Individual sovereignty and freedom is the most important thing. And because we have allowed governments over the centuries to take sovereignty over us, to take ownership of the people, right? And we have been so conditioned to submit and to transfer power over to them. This is the position we're in right now, where people over land and all that before individual sovereignty. If people were more concerned about minding their own goddamn business and leaving other people alone that ain't got shit to do with them, we wouldn't be in a position. 7A Sports TV in the building. Salute, brother. Shout out to 7A Sports TV. Make sure you drop your link, bro. I appreciate you for coming in through, man. This is my first time I think seeing you in here. Let me go ahead and mod you up. Hey, y'all go check out 782. He also has a No 304 show. So make sure y'all check him out. Appreciate you, bro. So think about that. Think about that. Y'all think, yes, anarchist. I am an anarchist. Yes. I'm glad you recognize that. Because a lot of people are confused about what anarchy is. Why am I an anarchist? Because I recognize that the smallest minority is the individual, right? And individual sovereignty is the most important thing in this world. If you don't have sovereignty over yourself, then you are easily ruled over. Because see, what we have done is we have given consent to be governed to our government. Well, we haven't, actually. We haven't given consent. Our parents gave consent when we got birth certificates and social security cards. When we were born into the system, we were not given the option, right? Our parents made that decision for us. So what that means is that we are born property, but after we're born and our parents goes and gets our social security card and our birth certificate, we are now we are property of the state and we're property of the federal government. They have co-ownership over us. Tanya D, good morning to you, Queen. Salute to you. Yes, we are born into a lie. I get anarchy, but I can't see it working. You need some social structure. Well, here's how it works. I believe in anarchy, but I also believe in voluntarism. So what that means is that voluntarism is when you volunteer to participate in a given system, where it's not by force. You do it voluntarily, right? And in doing that, that is anarchy, essentially. So let's say instead of having this huge central government ruling over everybody, and you got the elite class within this central government, you have the ruling class, right? Or the dominant culture, however you want to phrase it. They are in Washington, D.C., and they have rulership over everybody in the country. You have over 350 million people in the country, right? Okay. How is it that, let's say you got 535 representatives in the Congress? You got 100 senators and you got 435 Congress people, or 435 representatives in the House. Those 535 people cannot, in any form or fashion, represent 350 million people. It's just not possible, because everybody has different needs, they have different desires, they have different. It's doomed to fail. The Mikado 16 says, first time here, glad you found you. I appreciate you, brother. Salute to you. Thank you for that $2 super chat, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, how can a system like that benefit everyone? It can't. You understand? What they do represent, those representatives, they represent the special interest groups, they represent the banks, they represent the corporations and foreign interests. They represent foreign interests. That means other countries, right? That's who they represent, because these people, they lobby. They lobby and they pay these representatives donations, and they influence legislation. Did y'all know that you can draw up legislation to have your representative introduce? Did you guys know that? Because this is what the lobbyists do. You can draw legislation for your so-called representatives to introduce to the floor. They can draft it up. You give them the proposal. You write up a proposal. In their pages, and all these people, they draft up a piece of legislation, an act or a bill. Did you know that you could do that? Anybody can do it. But they don't. When have you ever done that? When have you ever given a proposal to your congressperson or your senator, or even your community leader? Right? At the small scale, y'all talk about local this and local that, how important that is. When was the last time you gave a proposal? Have you done that? Did you know that y'all can form a special interest group to lobby? Did y'all know that? But we don't do it. Who tells us to do that? No one tells us to do it. The corporations do it. Hell, even AARP does it. AARP is a special interest group. The NRA is a special interest group. There's all manner. Big pharma, big tech. They are all special interest groups that draft, that give proposals, or they tell their reps, listen, I need something to happen in this regard. NAACP is a special interest group. These are the people that are represented. These special interest groups, they form what they feel represents their own community. Because big oil is a community. Yes, churches are special interest groups. There are all manner of special interest groups that lobby in the Congress to get legislation passed that will benefit the people they represent. And whoever has the most money and the most influence and has the best friend, hey, listen, you know how they say get money out of Congress? That's the money they're talking about. They're talking about the special interest groups. Yes, AIPAC, all these people. But we pay them, don't we? Well, the special Please drop, can you guys drop a Romeo Lima Charlie in the chat if you guys can hear me now? Thank you, Realize. I appreciate that. I should be good now, y'all. So what I was saying was special interest groups. Special interest groups are who gets represented. Salute to Insane Talk. Cali in the building. Special interest groups get represented by the representatives in Congress. Why does my voice boom like that? Because Jason Lee, I was in the military and we were taught to project our voices. That's how we speak. We project, right? Israel recently gave 67 elected U.S. officials and their families a week-long vacation within Israel. They gave 130 British Parliament members treatment, the same treatment. Because that's how it works, y'all. It's legal too. That's how it works. Now, they can only give so much, right? They can only give so much. In these special interest groups, do you think that they only do this to one side? They only lobby to the left or the right? No, they lobby to both sides, right? Because they trying to hit it from both angles. They trying to, hey, we're going to pay y'all to push this legislation. We're going to pay them to push this legislation. It makes it more probable that they get what they want. Palestine already has a state. It's called Jordan. Okay. Cap how much a person can spend on running for office. Don't cap how much can be donated. The bottom line is this. The problem is that the power is much too concentrated in one location, in the central government. So my idea is, what I believe should happen is you break that shit up. You decentralize the power, give it back to the states. So the more you break it down, the more probable it is that the people become represented. It's more probable that way. So if you break it down further from that, you break it down from state power and you go down to the individual communities, right? Individual communities. The smaller the constituency, the more easily they are to be represented and the more accountable the leaders will be. The more accountable the leaders will be, the smaller that government is, or the smaller that community is, the less community leaders you have that represent the smallest amount of people is the best way to do it. I know, orange little for you. Yes, that's why I said you break it down even further. You have to do it methodically. You can't just snap your finger and make it happen. You have to do it piece by piece, because the bottom line, a lot of people are not ready or equipped to not have people ruling over them. Many people want to be ruled over. They don't want to have to make certain decisions. They don't want to have a certain level of uncomfortability. So there are going to be people that want to be ruled over. Okay, that's cool. As long as you are aware of what that means and you are okay with it, okay, handle your business. But the smaller that community is, the better. Because you'll have more choices, right? So one community might have a communistic situation. They might be that community over there is a community of communists. And then you might have a community over there that's churchy and conservative. You might have a community down that way that are more like the fucking Amish. Or you might have a community over there where, everybody, you might have a large community where they work together for certain things, okay? For the security of all their properties You know, they might want to build roads and all that other stuff, and they might want to trade and whatnot. Those are going to be more of the independent individuals. They just get together when they need to, for trade, for goods and services, you know, however you want to do it. So, and those are going to be more people along the lines of anarchy, right? Right, where I don't have to, you don't rule over me, I don't rule over you, but we work together when it's necessary. Because at the end of the day, humans are social beings. They're social creatures. They're naturally meant, they naturally come together, they naturally form communities. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go back to city-states. Go back to voluntarism, right? You choose which community you want to belong to. You that is more along the lines of what you believe. Because other people's beliefs should not be forced onto you. Right? People's leadership or dictatorship should not be forced onto you. You should be able to make any decision that you want. I'm not a constitutionalist. I mean, but if that's what you want to believe, because the Constitution kind of created these problems, right? The Federalist, right? The Federalist said, you know what? We just fought in a revolution to free us from a central power across the pond, right? The founding fathers, right? Oh yeah, let's free us from this central power. We don't want central power telling us what to do over here. So then they came up with the bright idea, why don't we create that central power right here in the United States? Someone says I sound crazy. Someone else says, Kane Darkstar says, well, I'm out. Okay, let me help you out then. There you go. You don't have to come back. Salute to Sam Seals. Someone says I sound crazy. Perfect. Cool. I can sound crazy. Native Americans did not invite them? No, they did not. But see, the Native Americans understood that the land belonged to no one. So that's why they were like, okay, well, here these people are. We're here. The land belongs to nature. Nature belongs to land, and we're part of nature. We're just existing within the land. Did they war over resources and stuff? Yeah, because it was the resources that they really needed, right? They needed the water. They needed the elk. They needed the buffalo. They needed those things. Someone says, you don't sound crazy. You sound like you're a settler colonist at heart. I'm not a settler colonist. What? Absolutely not. There goes the native ethno-supremacist line. Sure, whatever you say. Anyway, yes, it belonged to everyone. This is what they understood. And this is why. See, the indigenous folks of this land they call the United States did not have an understanding of land ownership, because that was not a concept that they even entertained, because they just existed there. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get ready for work. So good old work. But it's all good. Y'all can think I'm crazy. Y'all can think I'm whatever. It is what it is. At least you guys are thinking, right? But think about it. Imagine you decentralize all this power and all this control, and you break it down to the smallest enclaves possible, and understand how much better you would be represented, how much more of a voice you would have, and how much more accountable your leaders will be held when they get out of pocket. Think about that. Like Benjamin Nosferatu. You see, there are a lot of Israelis that don't agree with what Benjamin Nosferatu is doing. They're over here, they're over there. They want Benjamin Nosferatu to release the hostages. But because the power is so centralized in Israel to these people, to Benjamin Nosferatu, to the defense minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, Benjamin Nosferatu Netanyahu. Well, Benjamin has all the power now. He has all the buttons to push. He has control of the military. He don't give a shit what you got to say. He don't care if you want the hostages released or not. And that's the problem, because the power is too centralized into one location where the people don't have a say. You like how I butchered the name? Man, it fits perfectly. It fits perfectly too. It's very apt and apropos. The power is too centralized. When it's too centralized and you have so few elite motherfuckers trying to control everything. Listen, these people don't know you. Donald Trump don't know you. Benjamin Nosferatu don't know you. Why should he care what you believe and what you have to say? Yeah, there are going to be some people on the right. There's going to be conservatives that agree with Trump. Yeah, I believe in what Trump believes. I think Trump is doing this, and I think, but Trump is not thinking, man, he don't agree with you. He don't believe in what you believe in. You agree with him, and he believes in what you believe in, what he believes in. He don't give a shit what you believe in or what you agree with. It's like that with every president. It's like that with every representative, every congressperson, every senator, every community leader. I forgot what they call them. It is what it is, y'all. Anyway, y'all stay up. Y'all go train. You know, just think about it. Think about individual freedom and sovereignty. That is the most important step. And then if you feel like, hey man, I just want to go to work and I just want to do my thing. I don't want to have to worry about the infrastructure. I don't want to have to worry about this and that. I need a ruler to make these decisions for me. That's perfectly fine. But everyone else should have that choice. If they don't want to be ruled over by the person you ruled over by, then they should not have to be ruled over by them. Does that make sense? Anyway, y'all, thank you guys for coming through. Realize, salute to you. Thank you to all of my moderators. The people we see on the world stage are solely managers of their respective departments. They are not owners. They aren't the owners. No, they're not. You're absolutely right. So that's all I'm saying. The reason Benjamin Nosferatu can do what he does, despite what his people say, is because they have given over. They have given over their power to him. They have submitted to him, just like we submit to our government. And they're going to do what they want to do, regardless of what we say. They're going to continue to give money to Israel. They're going to continue to give money to Ukraine. They're going to continue to give money to Pakistan for gender studies and all this bullshit. They're going to continue to do everything they want to do because we have given our consent to them. It is what it is, y'all. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.